Hello and welcome kids once again to your SST classes of grade 5th. And kids, as you all know, we are doing the chapter 4, that is the land of dense forest, the Democratic Republic of Congo. So in this part of the video, we are going to discuss about our remaining topics, that is the life of the people and transport. In the last part of the video, we have studied about the wildlife, about agriculture, about industries of this DRC country, that it has large mineral deposits. It is the largest producer of cobalt as well as the industrial diamond. One more important element, that was tantalum, which is used in the fabrication of electronic components, is being produced over here. Okay. And one more thing, that there is plenty of water, lots of water in the country. So dams also have been built across the river to produce hydroelectricity. Hydroelectricity is the power generated with the help of water falling from a great height. Okay. So now the remaining topic is the about the life of the people, that is present in my SST book, page number 30. So, life of the people. The country is thinly populated. Thinly populated means where the population density is not much more. ठीक है, बहुत कम आबादी वाले लोग जो रहते हैं. The country is thinly populated. Most of the people live in the villages. Yes, most of the people of the country, they live in the village side, because cities are not yet so much developed over there. Okay, so most of the people, majority of the people of this country, they are living in the villages. Most of them are Bantu speaking Negros, Negro people. Negros, mainly the African origin people, they are known as Negros. Mostly they are of dark skin colored. Okay. And what is the language they are speaking? The name of the language is Bantu speaking. Okay. So it is the language being spoken over by the people living there. They are tall and hefty with dark skin. मतलब वो बहुत लंबे लंबे होते हैं और बहुत मतलब भारी भरकम होते हैं. विथ हेफ्टी विथ डार्क स्किन, उनकी स्किन बहुत ही ज्यादा डार्क होती है, एज यू कैन सी इन द पिक्चर्स ऑल्सो. ओके. They follow a traditional lifestyle in the villages. Now in the villages where they are living, they are following the traditional lifestyle, not the modern one. Okay. Whatever the traditional lifestyle set by their ancestors, they are still following that over there in the villages. How they are looking? So they are tall and they are with dark skin. Okay. Their skin color is dark. Due to hot and wet climate, they wear limited clothes. Yes, the climate, as we have already seen in the climate topic, that the climate of this country, it is mostly hot and humid, hot and warm climate. Okay. So they wear limited clothes. Limited clothes means they wear much less clothes, not much clothes they are wearing to avoid the heat. They enjoy music and dance. Yes, they very much love music and dance. Okay. That is their favorite pastime. In cities, the people mostly wear modern clothes and lead European lifestyle. So all these things which we have studied right now, that was about the village part, that in the villages they are living the traditional lifestyle and they don't wear so much clothes because of the hot and humid weather. But when we move to the cities, whatever cities there is developed, there the people are leading a modern lifestyle. They are wearing modern clothes. Okay. And they are leading a European lifestyle. As the people in the Europe country, they are modern, they follow the modern lifestyle, life skills. So those lifestyles are being followed. So those lifestyles are being followed in the cities. They are copying the European lifestyle. A number of cities have been developed after independence. Now, after the independence, earlier this country was also under some rulers. Now, after independence, a large number of cities have been developed in the DRC. Okay. Earlier there was more and more villages, but now the cities are also being developed over there. In the northern part, the people are short in heights and are called pygmies. Pygmy people. In this picture, draft picture, a file picture is given of the pygmies people, that how they are looking. Now in the northern part of this country where the DRC is located, northern part of this DRC will be this part. So in the northern part of this country, the people, they are not much in height. Okay, they are short in height, and they are called, especially they are being called as, they are being named as pygmies. They are nomads. What is nomad? Nomad is a tribe that moves with its animals from place to place. जो हम हिंदी में जिसे कहते हैं खाना बदोश लोग, जिनका एक जगह कोई ठिकाना नहीं होता. They don't have a permanent place to live in. Always they are moving from one place to another along with their belongings. Okay. At one place they will stay for 2 months or 3 months, not more than that. Okay, depending on their job or depending upon the availability of food and other necessities over that area. So those people, those who have not permanent living space, or those who are not staying at one place for long, they are called as nomads. Their huts are small and can protect their families from heavy rains. Now they are building their huts in such a fashion, they are using so many big leaves and woods to make their hut, that this hut can protect their families from heavy rains. Okay. They are skilled hunters. Skilled hunters means बहुत ही ज़्यादा कुशल शिकारी हैं वो, because mainly they are depending upon the animals for their food. They are killing the animals, hunting them. Either they are selling their meat in the market, or they themselves are also eating. One more thing they are fond of, that is of honey. They are fond of honey. Fond of means जो उनको बहुत पसंद है वो है honey. Okay, शहद. Christianity is the majority religion in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, followed by about 80% of the population. Now, which religion is famous over there? So that is the Christianity. They are mostly following the Christianity. Okay. Yes. So it is also an important point, because later on question will come on this fact, which religion is followed by most of the people. So Christianity is the majority religion in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, followed by about 80% of the population. Means if the population we consider, then majority of the people, lots of people, they follow the Christianity. They are Christians. With about 30 million members, the Roman Catholic Church in the Democratic Republic of Congo is one of the largest Christian denominations in the continent of Africa. Now, if we talk about the African continent with about 30 million members, now in this Christianity religion, how many million active million members? There are 30 million members. The Roman Catholic Church in the Democratic Republic of Congo is one of the largest Christian denominations. What is the meaning of Christian denominations? Following Christianity. Christian denominations means those persons, those people, those who are following the Christianity, Christian religion. Okay. So it is one of the Roman Catholic Church in the DRC of the Congo. It is one of the largest Christian denomination, one of the largest Christianity following masses of the people in the continent of Africa. If we talk about the complete continent Africa, then they form the largest Christian denominations, largest Christianity religion following people. Okay. So this was about life of the people in the DRC. Now the next topic is about transport. Ground transport in the Democratic Republic of Congo has always been difficult because of the irregular and uneven physical features. Lands are not very smooth. Okay, and most of the reasons, they are surrounded by water, because river, that Congo river is also following. So the ground transport in the Democratic Republic of Congo has always been difficult. It has been a little bit difficult. Ground transport means the use of railways, the use of bus, those things which move on the road, railway tracks, etc. So this has always been little bit difficult. The terrain, what is the meaning of terrain? Earth and rocky land. Terrain means earth surface. What kind of land forms, what kind of land features are over there? So the terrain and the climate of the Congo basin present present serious barriers to road and rail constructions. Now, why the land transport is difficult over there? Ground transport or land transport, both are the same thing. Why it is difficult? Because the terrain, the earth surface, the rocky land, this area is having lots of rocky land, and the earth surface is not smooth over there. Moreover, the climate of the Congo basin, because we have studied that this region, it experiences large amounts of precipitation, matlab large amount of heavy rainfall is there, and there is the highest frequency of thunderstorms. Now thunderstorms are also very much frequent, very quick over there. So because of this reason, they present these situations, these physical barriers, they present serious barriers. Barriers means some kind of blockage, obstructions to road and rail constructions. Constructions means to build up the railway tracks, to make road over there. So because of these difficulties, the not even terrains, uneven landforms, structures, and the climatic conditions of the Congo basin, the it is very much difficult to construct railway tracks and roads, and that makes the ground transport difficult over there. And the distances are enormous across this vast country. और जो भी दूरियां हैं एक जगह से दूसरे जगह में, वो भी बहुत ज़्यादा हैं इस कंट्री में. Enormous means बहुत ज़्यादा, very much. Vast means along this, vast means very big, very large. तो जो दो प्लेसेस के बीच में जो डिस्टेंसेस है वो भी बहुत ज़्यादा लार्ज हैं, उनको कवर करना भी ग्राउंड ट्रांसपोर्ट से बहुत डिफिकल्ट है. नाउ द डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक ऑफ कॉन्गो has thousands of kilometers of navigable waterways. Navigable means boats can sail alone. Navigable is such a place where the water boats, steamers or the simple boats जो होते हैं, नाव पानी में चलने वाले, वो आराम से जा सकते हैं. अलोन सिर्फ वही जा सकते हैं. ठीक है. तो डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक ऑफ कॉन्गो डीआरसी के पास थाउजेंड्स ऑफ किलोमीटर्स ऑफ नेविगेबल वाटरवेज है, क्योंकि हमने अभी पढ़ा है इट इज हैविंग लॉट्स ऑफ वाटर, देयर इज प्लेंटी ऑफ वाटर इन दिस कंट्री. इस कंट्री के पास पानी बहुत है, तो ऑब्वियसली इनको वाटरवेज डेवलप करना ज़्यादा ईजी होगा. वाटरवेज के वाटर ट्रांसपोर्ट को दे विल प्रेफर मच. And traditionally, water transport has been the dominant means of moving around approximately 2/3 of the country. Now you can see they maximum people, they are maximum time, for the most of the time they are using the water transport for moving across their country. Approximately 2/3 of the country we can cover through waterways only, navigable waterways, in which motor boats and steamer and other water transport vehicles are going. All air carriers certified by the Democratic Republic of Congo have been banned from European Union airports by the European Commission because of inadequate safety standards. All air carriers means airways, the aeroplanes, helicopters, मतलब whatever इज द मीन्स ऑफ एयर ट्रांसपोर्ट. तो जितने भी एयर कैरियर्स हैं, मतलब एयर ट्रांसपोर्ट को यूज करते हुए कोई भी जो व्हीकल है, जो एयर ट्रांसपोर्ट के थ्रू एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जाने की जो चीजें हैं, सर्टिफाइड बाय द डीआरसी, जिनकी सर्टिफिकेशन डीआरसी ने दे रखी है, जिनको सर्टिफाइड मीन्स किसी चीज को गवर्नमेंट से सर्टिफाई करना, उनको अप्रूव करना. तो डीआरसी ने जितने भी एयर कैरियर्स को सर्टिफाइड कर रखा है ऑफ द डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक ऑफ यूनियन, उनको लेकिन यूरोपियन यूनियन ने बैन कर दिया है. दे हैव बीन बैंड फ्रॉम यूरोपियन यूनियन एयरपोर्ट्स. यूरोपियन यूनियन, नाउ व्हाट इज यूरोपियन यूनियन, दैट फर्स्ट वी हैव टू अंडरस्टूड. द यूरोपियन यूनियन, शॉर्ट फॉर्म में वी कॉल इट EU. इट इज अ ग्रुप ऑफ 28 countries that operates as a joint body which form policies on matters such as trade, agriculture and finance. Some of the countries name also I have written, those are France, Greece, Italy, Germany. तो इन शॉर्ट यूरोपियन यूनियन जो है ना 28 कंट्रीज का एक इंटरनेशनल ग्रुप है, एक इंटरनेशनल बॉडी है जो किन मैटर्स को, किन चीज़ों को देखता है। तो इन जो कंट्रीज इसमें हैं, दीज 28 कंट्रीज, इन कंट्रीज में जो कुछ भी चीज़ें होती हैं, पॉलिसीज, मैटर्स रिलेटेड टू ट्रेड, ट्रेड मीन्स व्यापार, एग्रीकल्चर मीन्स खेती, फिनेंस मीन्स उनकी इकोनॉमिक कंडीशंस, उन सबको ये मॉनिटर करता है, उनकी पॉलिसीज, उनके प्लानिंग, उनके एग्जीक्यूशन, इन सब की फ्रेमवर्क को यूरोपियन यूनियन मॉनिटर करता है। और ये यूरोपियन यूनियन किन चीज़ों से मिलकर बना है? 28 कंट्रीज से मिलकर बना है, ठीक है। द नेम ऑफ सम ऑफ द कंट्रीज आई हैव रिटन, more lots of countries, other countries name also you can find on internet, or later on we will study in this book in our later on syllabus. Okay, for the time being you can just note down ki European Union, yes, it is a group of 28 countries which operates, operate means किसी चीज को चलाना, किसी चीज को वर्क कराना, ठीक है, एज अ जॉइंट बॉडी। और ये 28 कंट्रीज जॉइंटली फंक्शन करते हैं। एंड द what is air carrier? Air carrier, a commercial carrier, an organization transporting passengers and cargo by aircraft. Cargo means जो बड़े बड़े जैसे शिप पे हम चीज़ें अपलोड करते हैं ना, कार्गो जो सामान होता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड कार्गो। तो एयर कैरियर्स एक कमर्शियल कैरियर है, एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ट्रांसपोर्टिंग पैसेंजर्स एंड कार्गो बाय एयरक्राफ्ट, मतलब एयरक्राफ्ट के थ्रू जो पैसेंजर्स, यात्रियों को या किसी कार्गो, बड़े बड़े सामान को एक जगह से दूसरी जगह लेके जा सके, उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का हिस्सा है एयर कैरियर। एंड व्हाट इज द ईसी? दैट इज द यूरोपियन कमीशन। The EC is the executive of the European Union. This means that it is responsible for initiating laws, enforcing the laws of the European Union, and managing the EU's policies. It is made up of 27 commissioners and is in Brussels. Okay. नाउ दिस यूरोपियन कमीशन, ये जो यूरोपियन यूनियन की जो फंक्शनिंग बॉडी है, जो सारे पॉलिसीज बनाती है, जो एग्जीक्यूट करती है, जो चीज़ों को मॉनिटर करती है, उसे ही हम यूरोपियन यूनियन के, यूरोपियन कमीशन के नाम से जानते हैं, ठीक है। यूरोपियन कमीशन इज द एग्जीक्यूटिव। एग्जीक्यूटिव का मतलब होता है, एक होती है चीज़ें जो प्लान करती है, और दूसरा जो उसको एग्जीक्यूट करता है, उस प्लान को मतलब प्रैक्टिकली जो अप्लाई करता है। तो यूरोपियन कमीशन वही काम करती है यूरोपियन यूनियन के लिए। ओके और इसकी जो सेंटर है, जो मेन इसका जो जगह है, वो कहाँ पे, इसकी जो ऑफिस है वो दैट इज इन ब्रुसेल्स। ओके, इट इज सिचुएटेड इन ब्रुसेल्स। तो इन शॉर्ट द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस पैराग्राफ, दिस लाइन इज दैट कि डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक ऑफ कॉन्गो से जो भी एयर कैरियर्स जा रहे हैं, जिनको डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक ने सर्टिफाई कर रखा है, लेकिन उसको यूरोपियन यूनियन ने, यूरोपियन यूनियन की जो फंक्शनिंग बॉडी है, जो उनके लिए डिसीजंस बनाती है, प्लानिंग को एग्जीक्यूट करती है, दैट इज यूरोपियन कमीशन, उन्होंने बैन कर रखा है। क्यों? क्योंकि इनएडिक्वेट सेफ्टी स्टैंडर्ड्स, इनके सेफ्टी स्टैंडर्ड्स, डीआरसी कंट्री के जो सेफ्टी स्टैंडर्ड्स है, वट एवर सेफ्टी स्टैंडर्ड्स दे आर रिकमेंडिंग फॉर द एयर कैरियर्स, इट इज नॉट बीइंग approved and it is not being considered of very good quality by the European Union. So that's why they have banned their air carriers. Okay, so this was all about the transport of this country. Water transport is a popular means of transport, yes, that we have seen in this paragraph. So like this chapter is now about to over. Now the explanation part of this chapter is over, and now you can start your notebook work, fair notebook work of SST with the quickies. Now you quickies, you know, it is also known as keywords or definitions. But before writing the keywords or definitions, wherever you have completed UT1 syllabus, you will leave one page blank in your SST Fair notebook so that you could write UT2 syllabus over there, and then only you will start your this chapter keywords work. Work should be very much neat and clean without any spelling mistakes. Okay, and please use dark pencils and do your work properly. Do mention the date and day, do mention the chapter number, name of the chapter, and heading of the thing that what you are going to write. If you are going to write keywords, do mention keywords and then write the keywords neatly and cleanly. So some of the important keywords are evergreen trees, trees that remain green throughout the year, that I have already explained. It is very much clear from the name itself, evergreen. Evergreens means सदाबहार, हमेशा के लिए, जो throughout the year, all round the year, they remain green most of the time. Then equatorial region, the region on both sides of the equator. Now equator is the largest parallel which is passing through the center of the earth. And what are the equatorial regions? तो उस सेंट्रल इक्वेटोरियल लाइन के दोनों साइड में जो कंट्रीज हैं उन्हें, या जो प्लेसेस हैं उन्हें हम इक्वेटोरियल रीजन्स कहते हैं. एज यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम हियर, दिस इज द इक्वेटर, or we also call it equatorial line. Now those countries which are situated on both sides of the equator, on this side, northern side, and on the southern side, near about the equator, those are called equatorial regions or equatorial places. Next is pygmy, a tribal group of very short people living in the equatorial region of Africa. Right now I have explained who are the pygmies. The main speciality or recognition symbol of these pygmies is that they are of short height. Okay, they are not of much height, and they are a traditional tribal group. Tribal means जो कबीले के लोग होते हैं, जो जंगलों में रहते हैं, tribal group. Okay, next is canopy, and any overhanging covering. कोई भी जो आपके सर को ढकती हुई ऐसी कोई भी कवरिंग हो जो आपके ऊपर हो, that is called canopy. Okay, आपके सिर से ऊपर हो जो है, ठीक है, that is called canopy. Any overhanging covering. Overhanging means हमारे ऊपर से लटकती हुई covering. Covering means which is covering something. Because in the forest chapter, in the forest topic of this chapter, na vegetation topic, we have studied that in the forest, in the thick forest of Democratic Republic of Congo, the trees are of very tall height. They are of much height, and such a height is that they are making a canopy like structures for the other small shrubs and herbs, because they are not letting the sunlight to come properly to the ground, forest ground. Next is savanna, a grassy plain in tropical and subtropical regions with few trees. सवाना, घास के जो बड़े बड़े मैदान होते हैं उन्हें हम सवाना के नाम से जानते हैं, ठीक है. अ ग्रासी प्लेन, एंड दे आर सिचुएटेड इन द ट्रॉपिकल एंड सबट्रॉपिकल regions. Subtropical and tropical regions, the regions which are situated between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. और उन सवानाज, उन ग्रासी प्लेन्स में, उन घास के मैदानों में पेड़ बहुत कम होते हैं. मोस्टली दे आर हैविंग लॉन्ग ग्रासेस. ओके, दे आर कवर्ड विथ ग्रासेस. Rare species with a small population on the verge of being extinct. Rare species का मतलब, species किसी भी जीव जंतु की प्रजाति को हम species कहते हैं, ठीक है. रेयर स्पीसीज विथ स्मॉल पॉपुलेशन, तो ऐसा कोई जनजाति, ऐसा कोई प्रजाति, ऐसा कोई एनिमल का ग्रुप जो कि जिसका पॉपुलेशन बहुत स्मॉल रह गया हो, जो जनसंख्या में काफी स्मॉल हो गया हो, एंड बिल्कुल ऑन द वर्ज मीन्स किनारा, ऑन द, पर यहाँ पे सेंस है एक्सटिंक्शन मीन्स विलुप्त हो जाना, बिल्कुल इस धरती से गायब हो जाना, उस छोर पे पहुंच गया हो, तो ऐसे स्पीसीज को नाम दिया गया है रेयर स्पीसीज. ओके, जिनकी पॉपुलेशन अब बहुत कम रह गई हो, वो किसी भी चीज का हो सकता है. रेयर स्पीसीज कैन बी ऑफ any of the plant, any of the trees, any of the animals, any of the birds. ओके, मतलब जिसकी हंटिंग इतनी ज्यादा हो गई हो या कोई और रीजन हो, ठीक है, कि वो अपने क्लाइमेट में, अपने एनवायरमेंट में अडेप्ट नहीं कर पा रहे हो, एडजस्ट नहीं कर पा रहे हो, तो फॉर एनी ऑफ द रीजन the population of that particular plant or animal or bird or anything is becoming very small and it is on the verge of extinction. मतलब अब वो extinct, अब बिल्कुल disappear होने के verge पे हो. Those are called rare species. Last is the endemic species found only in some particular areas. Endemic का मतलब है ऐसी species, ऐसी प्रजातियां जो सिर्फ एक किसी particular region में ही हम उसे पा सकते हैं, हम उसे देख सकते हैं. And we have studied about the endemic species na. One example was of bonobo, pygmy chimpanzees. That is a rare species that is mostly found or only found in the DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. Okay, they are the endemic species. That means this bonobo pygmy chimpanzees, it could be found only in the DRC region. So this was about the keywords of this chapter. Now regarding the book exercises and question answers, very soon in the next part of the video we will cover that, the book exercises and question answer of this particular chapter. Till then, you please complete your SST Fair notebook work with the keywords of this chapter, and before starting the keywords, leave one page blank. Okay, where your UT1 syllabus has completed, after that leave one page blank, and we will write that so that you could write over UT2 syllabus when I will give you, and after that from the next page you can start this chapter 4 keywords work. Okay, and please do read the chapter 2 or 3 times for better understanding and better concept clarity. Reading of the chapter is also very important. As much as you will read the chapter, more and more knowledgeable and more concept clarity, word power, pronunciation will be becoming easy for you. Okay, the chapter is also not so very big, it is a small one, only 2 or 3 pages are only there in this chapter. So please go through the chapters properly, do the reading of the chapter at least 3 times. Okay, so that's all for today's class. Thank you for the class.